Greetings and salutations, race fans, motorsport lovers, and others, and to our live audience. We have a live audience tonight. Welcome to Waved Yellow. Guys, can we make some noise? Yeah, you see, we've got at least 45 people in the studio tonight. Yes, it is a studio. It's outdoors. It's Joburg. It's winter, but we are downhill fast to summer. Gary, how's it?
Colleen, how are you?
I'm fabulous, and to our guest tonight, Trevor Bland, the race car driver, the car preparator, and an all-round damn fine guy who's got a bit of a sense of humor. Welcome, Trevor, and thanks a lot for joining us.
Hey, thank you guys for having me here. It's great to be here. Could have chosen a warmer night, but we're here now, so...
But you know what? There's no such thing as bad weather. It's just bad clothing.
I'll remember that the next time.
I like your jacket.
Of course, it's got the best badge on it, so why not?
Because you are a Volkswagen guy, but we're going to talk to Trevor later. But as usual, we start with what was, and then we go to what is.
And
then
what's happening.
What will be.
Who
knows?
Oh, we're going from what's happening to will be.
Yeah,
who's will be?
What will be?
Oh, what will be? Okay.
What will be, Gary? Okay, now we haven't done this for a while. Gary,
This is a process, guys. Just live with
bear
me.
with me.
Okay, because if he doesn't get this right, grumpy show.
We've already had our grumpiness. I've got it sorted out. Gary and I had a loud discussion on the way in the car today. Gary, check my arse.
Check your arse.
Focus, bro. Gary, this is a serious show. There are thousands of people watching. Icelanders online. I see that.
So is Queenstown.
Where's Queenstown? Is that where all the
Simon Morris is in Queenstown.
Is that where all the funny oaks who dress funny live?
Yeah.
Simon, how's it? First of all, tragic news.
Yeah, it was.
Actually, really cuck. We went to a rally we had in PE this weekend. We're going to talk a little bit about that now. And very sadly, Dolph Coetzee and Rory Eland on the way back had a car crash and passed away. So to Dolph and Rory's families, friends, to the rally community, and to all others who knew them, our
deepest condolences.
Yeah, it sucks, but it's life, and it was, it sucks. I don't know how to. Dying is cuck, Gary, but you know what?
If I may ask, could you just move your microphone a little bit further away from your mouth? Thank you very much. And hold it slightly further up because you're blocking the antenna. Thank you, Colin.
Do you know why it's got this thing?
Further away,
Do you know why it's got this thing on the top, so your hand doesn't slip off the top?
No, so you don't swallow the microphone.
No, but Gary, I can't swallow it. My mouth's not that big. So yeah, to Dolph and Rory's family and friends, condolences. And then to another old guy, an old git, who had needed to go in for some serious repairs, Michael Briggs. I do not know how your body has made it this far, but it has. So have an awesome happy birthday to Michael Briggs. You know, he was very naughty back then. And back then...
He was.
Well,
Michael Briggs is still naughty.
Apparently he's turned over so many new leaves. It's like a forest he's turned over, Gary. So happy birthday, Mike. And then what else happened? The besterest news in the world was that Kevin Harvick finally, it's taken until the end of July, finally won a race. Stuart Racing, they've had a mare of NASCAR race, and then Harvick the dominator. Love it. Absolutely love it. Gary, what else happened? Oh, we were in the wettest, coldest place in the world.
Just a quick question, because it's actually quite important, because
yes,
people
Gary?
are chirping. It wasn't Rory Eland, it was Tino House.
I'm sorry.
I'm just replying to people's. I'm just thought I'd let the guys know.
My apologies.
We chatted them.
I've got Alzheimer's. I'm sorry. I forget stuff, and I'm quite embarrassed now, Gary. Why I didn't research and legal department? You guys, there's a problem here. So my apologies. There was a rally. We were in the coldest, wettest place in the world, Port Elizabeth, this weekend. I've never, ever been that wet and cold in a rally, and I've been on a few. How did you survive, Gary?
Well, if it wasn't for you trying to find a $60 plastic wetsuit, we would have both. I think we'd still be there frozen. But anyway,
have you warmed up?
Yeah, I have warmed up.
But what a great rally. And thank you to the South African Rally Commission for inviting us and allowing us full access and all the rest of it. And the winners of the rally, would you like to tell us who the winners of the rally are, and with that huge smile on your face, Trevor?
I would love to. It was Arcia Potgieter and Nico Swart in the Volkswagen 1000cc turbocharged Polo. Their first one of the season. Their second rally with me, with TB Racing preparing the car. And it was a short rally, but a win is a win, I suppose, and we'll take it.
As you were telling that story, your smile...
I want to know, whose wheel? We'll take it.
Gary.
Are you involved with the team?
Gary, TB Racing.
That is your new acquisition.
Yes,
What is it? What is the company called?
TB Racing.
TB Racing. So TB Racing has now suddenly inherited a race-winning formula.
No, they didn't inherit the race winner. They made it a race winner.
We made it a race winner. Yeah, it came with some problems in the beginning, with a little bit of hard work and perseverance. We've done it, and I'm very happy for Volkswagen. I'm happy for my guys and my crew that got the car right, and for TB Racing. It's fantastic.
And RC is a hell of a character. We spoke, and his English is a little bit better than my Afrikaans.
That is so true.
So it was hilarious, me talking English and trying to talk Afrikaans and him talking Afrikaans to me. But he's a damn good driver.
He is indeed. He's only done rally as far as I understand, and he's very, very good. His feedback is phenomenal. He can tell you what he wants, how he wants it, and what it should feel like and what it does feel like, which is hard to come by. And he's very, very good. I think we're on the right track with him.
Trevor, help us and help some of the audience understand in terms of feedback. What are the kind of things that a driver tells you that the car is doing, and then how do you fix it to make it do what he wants it to do?
We don't always get it right. Obviously, it's a lot of trial and error, but we've got the vague idea. So, I mean...
Give us an example of what he said was not so lacquer and what you did to fix it.
So with the turbocharged engine, it's got a lot more torque than what we used to with the old 1600 engine. It's got very, very little torque. They just rev for days, and that's pretty much it. So with the torque, the driving style's got to change a lot. And he's so used to having to slide the car through the corner a lot more and using the momentum of that to come out the corner. And now he's got to literally stop the car and drive it through. So we've got to get the balance a lot better and get traction. Traction is the big thing we struggled with. We're still struggling with it, but it's getting better. So we've changed a lot on the springs. We've changed a lot of the dampers. We've rebuilt dampers.
Just talk to us about the springs and the ratio of rebound and bump. We're looking for traction, front-wheel drive car. Coming out of corners, you're looking for traction. What are the things you do on the springs, and specifically bump and rebound on the dampers?
So look, I can't give too much away.
Oh, come on, you can, man. It's all amongst friends here.
Yeah, that's why people pay me the money to do this for them, you know. We've stiffened up the back of the car quite a bit because the car was squatting a lot towards the rear, which wasn't helping, which was creating a lot, which was unloading the front. So we've stiffened up the back a lot, and that seems to have helped quite a bit. Softened off the front a little bit, but stiffened up the back a lot. And as I say, it's a big step forward. We're not done yet. We're still coming with more. So that's where we are so far, and that's all I'm saying about that for now.
The part of why we ask those questions is not to get the secrets from you, but for a guy who might not have the ability to go to a world-class preparation shop like yours, is to give them an idea of what the things to look for. But on a 3-cylinder turbo, and that sounds lacquer, it's a quarter of a V12. So, and it sounds very lacquer. Does it run a standard turbo setup?
The motor is stock standard, has not been opened. It's actually sealed. The motor has seals on it. We're running the 1400 turbo on it, and otherwise the turbo is stock standard, the motor is stock standard, and it's making the same power as what the old 1600 highly tuned, very expensive motors were making.
But it's got a little bit more torque.
Yes, the torque is right. The power at the top isn't all there. but the torque is a lot better. Obviously, it doesn't rev as hard, it only revs to 6,500 as opposed to 8,000. And yeah, so the torque is there, and it's the torque which, as I say, when we get that right, it's going to be even better.
So it brings the power delivery on the traction, the tractive force on the wheels. So that's the force that the wheels push backwards as you go forwards. And there's a whole lot of maths. Maths and science is important. Did you do maths and science at school?
Yeah, I did indeed.
Yeah, the 2 seconds I was always going to blow it, because all good race car preparators are good with maths and science. There's a mind shift in racing, going particularly with the prevalence of turbo motors at the moment. And it's not only drivers. It's interesting that, from a preparation point of view, you talk about how you have to change things.
Yes, definitely. The turbo era is a lot, let me say, easier in a way. It's easy horsepower. It's almost like cheating. You don't have to put so much effort into fine-tuning the motor and getting the best out of your cylinder head and the best out of best weights and all that kind of stuff. You can put a stock standard motor from anywhere, put a turbo on it, and you can guarantee to make good power. And that's what's so great about it, is the cost is so much better, it's affordable, and the power's there straight away.
But it's also very interesting. I grew up in the days, long time ago, in a world far, far away, where you could take a cylinder head off and do a lot of work on it, and you get huge gains in power. With modern motor manufacturing and the design tolerances, it's very seldom that in a standard-ish kind of formula that this blueprinting thing can actually get you lots of gains.
Yeah, you don't gain much anymore. Those guys, as I call them, those guys in white coats, they're quite clever, and what they've designed with these small engines is damn phenomenal. You don't need to do much more, and what you got is what you got. A little bit of playing around, but they're pretty good out the box, most cars nowadays, from those guys in the white coats.
And from a brakes point of view, what sort of brake setup do you run, and is there a lot of time to be found on the brakes?
With the rules, we can't really do much more in the rally aspect. The size of the rotor is limited, the caliper is limited. Brake pad compound we can play around with, but obviously with rally not getting as big a heat as you do on the track, we've got to run quite a soft compound. And yeah, so you can't really do much. Homologation allows what we have, and we can't really play around with much more of that.
So let's go to TB racing, Trevor Bland racing. You're a petrol head. You love racing cars, and you raced cars, and then how did you transition from racing cars to having a business in motorsport?
So I raced karts when I was young. My father got me into karting, and I spent all his money doing that. And my dad bought me a Formula V after not being able to afford the karts anymore, and I sold my Formula V to a guy, and he said to me, well, I've got the car, I have no idea how to run it, would I mind? So I was like, well, I've got a normal job, but yeah, I'll do it for you with pleasure. The next minute he bought another car for his son, and then I was like, well, hang on, let me weigh up the options. I could look after this, which is way more fun than sitting in an office or whatever it was. So and that's where it started, and from there I had 2 cars, and then it just got bigger and bigger and bigger. And at the same time, while doing that, I was still racing myself, which it was a difficult thing to juggle, being able to race and make sure my customers are happy and the cars are prepped right, and I give everybody fair treatment. And yeah, it's worked pretty well. Yeah, I can't complain. I've been grateful, and it's great to where I am.
So if you hadn't got the second Formula V and you carried on working, what would that career have been?
Well, I studied mechanical engineering. I qualified as that, and I couldn't get a job as a mechanical engineer. So I was offered a job by Alan Holm. He races Formula V. I don't know if he still does, as a shop fitter. So I was building standard banks, and yeah, so maybe, who knows, maybe I'll still be building banks if it wasn't for that customer who bought 2 Vs.
Right. So
when you say building banks, how much insight into
steal money for you, Gary?
I know.
That's exactly where I
wasn't going there. Where's the good place to be to put the tunnel? Through the front door.
Before I get taken out, let me just not talk.
Better, safe for that.
Touchy subject. And then you end up with a couple of Volkswagen Polo Cup cars, and you do quite well in them.
Yes, so I raced Polo Cup for a few years. I raced with Tasman Pepper, Jordan Pepper. I was with Ian Pepper for a while. That was good. I raced with Gary van Heeren in Nutritech. That was also great. Then
Did he give you some of the supplements?
Yes, he did. They were all healthy. I was tested and I was clean. Just putting it out there. And then I was with Universal Healthcare for a while. That's where my career went really well with Universal Health, and got a few wins and a few fastest laps, and that was a really good season for me. And from there I went to the golf with Universal Health for 1 year, and and that's pretty much where my racing career unfortunately ended.
But you ended up in GDC 2 with a golf, and there were sparks of winning races, of right up front. It's bloody difficult to fight against a factory effort, though.
It was indeed, and I feel that in the beginning GDC was very close and it was great. And I think I created a lot of excitement because it showed that I was a privateer at that time and I could still come and win and I could still be competitive. And it showed a lot, and I feel at that time that the series grew quite a bit. And unfortunately, when that stopped and Volkswagen, they got good drivers and they started dominating a little bit more, that it didn't help the privateer so much to get anywhere. I'm not saying they did anything wrong, but they were able to get really good drivers at it, and in all fairness, Graham Nathan knows those golfs like the back of his hands, and he was able to get the best out of the cars.
And there's, Gary, our sources say, and many sources, we do have sources, truly. I don't just invent this stuff up on a whim, and sources are telling us that there's some interesting stuff happening with GTC for next year. GDC, the top class, I'm led to believe, Gary, that there are at least 3 new cars that are going to be built. Apparently, I'm led to believe, they say, this is what they're telling me. It's early days, nothing's confirmed. But you know that what we do on this show is we love motorsport and we love the positivity of our motorsport. Our audience is getting restless there. They are absolutely fantastic. Bit of noise there, guys. There really is an audience. And I mean, they did come they drove for days to come in and get us. We've got people from Cape Town even. That place with a half a mountain. You know where the grumpy guys come from. But they're all old grumpy there. Because the weather's... Okay, Cape Town, like fully proof. We think it's fantastic. So, sources tell me, Gary, that there's at least 3 new GD1 cars coming. And apparently, and I'm not going to put you on the spot, there's a whole lot of excitement coming in GDC 2, like with Fosterer, Betterer, great thing. So, it's on the growth.
Is a quarter of a Lamborghini got anything to do with it?
No.
Okay, just ask.
But a half a V8 might have something to do with it.
Oh, okay, cool.
Or a quarter of a Bugatti Veyron. And how many cylinders has that got, Gary?
A who, Phil?
A quarter of a Bugatti Veyron.
Is 4.
Yeah. Maths is your strong subject. I see.
Maths.
Now, the business of motorsport, I mean, making a living out of motorsport's not easy. You've got to be good. How much do you think your driving success, or success as a driver, had to do with you getting more and more people coming for you to look after your cars?
I think it helped a lot. I would prefer to take advice from somebody that knows what they're doing and that has been there and had the struggle, than from someone who just says they know how to drive a spanner but they're not too sure on the rest. No disrespect to anybody, but that's just how I feel. It worked for my business and I think it went a long way. I could, if my customer ever said to me, Trevor, wasn't happy with the car, I could climb in the car and I could, if there was something wrong with the car, I could sort it out, or I could say to them, okay, well look, the car is good or it's not good, we can sort something out.
Have you got those customers who couldn't drive a grease stick up a dog's bum?
No, I think all my customers are half alright.
Well, that's a politically correct answer. I mean, it's always good to say your customers are cool. You've got ex-customers who couldn't drive.
Of course.
So
that's what it is.
In other words, as Tinklers, as spanner wielders, there's no position for us at his business.
Gary, I can't wield a spanner. I can only throw them.
Like you throw toys.
I'd never... Have you ever known me to throw a toy? My name is not Steve Humble.
No, that wasn't nice, eh?
No, Steve throws his toys. I've even got pictures of him.
Yeah, but
in amongst his toys. Steve, we love you. We've got over our incident, and you are a character of note. And I note on because next weekend is endurance racing, next weekend, not this of this weekend, but we'll get there because as things go, we're getting there. Now you running your polos, you running rally cars. Are you always as serious and as like fully focused? Because you get serious at a racetrack when you're working. I've seen you walk around, you walk straight past me like you don't even know who I am. It's just like,
when he like at a rally, when the car comes into sight, then you can't even talk to him.
Mr. Serious.
Yes, I love my job. I don't think there's a time for jokes and a time for being serious. And as I say, I'm paid to be there for a reason, and I've got to be serious and make sure everything is right. You guys know motorsport is dangerous. If myself or anyone on my team forgets something silly, it can go horribly wrong. And when that has to happen, we're at the track, and especially at a rally especially, things can go wrong very quickly. So we've got to be 100% focused, and we have a good time in the evening. I mean, we met up on Saturday and had a good lunch, the three of us. And it was a jewel. We watched what's that thing on the TV with that ball, that funny ball that kicked?
Oh, that oblong thing.
Yeah, we watched that.
And the one side won, the other one lost.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
But no, apparently it was a good game. Our research department came back and in their notes, and check this. Gary, how slack is research? I want to talk to HR. Normally it's 2 pages of notes. Look at this. There's half a page of notes. I think it's absolutely disgusting.
While you're on about
Can we make
just by the way, I see makeup and everything's coming to the show tonight.
Makeup?
Yeah, Mr. Berger wants to know, gee, Collins, haircut. Hope you didn't pay for it.
I paid a lot.
Mark, it's got to do with makeup. You know what makeup is.
I went to the...
They think you look cool, they go for it.
We've got this new makeup department run by the local leb in Four Ways, brother. Just round the corner from the Fart Club. You don't live in Four Ways, do you?
No, nowhere near this Fart Club either.
No, the Oaks fart a lot. They've got tyres and they move them around, and there are more gyms in Four Ways than even in Boksburg and Benoni. But Benoni Publicity Association, big shout out for your support, continued support. We love you. You produce the hottest chicks in South Africa. We know this. How come? Because it's Princess.
Yes. Trevor, are you freezing?
Paused. I'm almost going to be dead still.
So basically you've got bad clothing.
We have Victor Turkey around saying it looks
not enough
there.
clothing, I think. Not enough clothing.
Just shows you, maybe you got to speak to the guys that gave you their jacket to get a warmer one.
We decided not years, but a few weeks ago that we would be hard Joburg boys and stay in our outdoor studio. Because our construction company who built the studio for us, and big shout out to the guys, I think you did a great job lighting, freaking top class. So we decided just to be hard and live it. You know what? We live in a beautiful country that is absolutely fantastic, and we've got to suck it up. So Trevor, what next? Where to from here? You also look after the happiest navigator in the world's car.
I do indeed, and isn't she just a joy to work with?
I tell you what, she's got miles and miles of smile. Carolyn, we love you. I don't know how you put up with George as a grumpy guy, and you are such a ray of sunshine. And you know what I really like about Carolyn is she's so forthcoming and open in her interviews. Is she like that in the team debriefs?
Very much so. It goes, it was cuck, or it was okay. And that's as good as it gets.
But you know what? She's an absolute character of note, and we need all these characters in racing. So where to from here? You've got 2 rally cars you look after, both in the Volkswagen family. You clearly are a Volkswagen part of the family. What's next? What's the future hold for you?
So far not too sure. There's the bit of excitement, if I may, that what's happening next weekend.
Yes. What's happening next weekend?
So next weekend, I believe, is at Mopar 4 Hour at East London, and I will be attending.
The Bigfoot 700.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah. And you're not just going to be attending. You're going to be doing what, Trevor?
I will be racing again, which I'm very excited about. All thanks to Paul Hill and Cara Hill. Paul's just bought an amazing little Polo, 1800 turbo, small little car, nothing fancy. Very, very, very blasé, very standard, nothing amazing. And myself and Cara are going to come and have a great jolly in the car. We're looking so forward to it. Paul's going down with his Aston, which is going to be fantastic to see. And we're going to go have some fun in the Mopar 4
Does that
hour.
mean you're down there as a driver, or you're down there as a so-called mechanic stroke driver?
I will be driving the spanners as well as the little Polo.
Oh,
I tell you what, Gary,
it's going to be the fastest spanners on the track.
there's a story about this car. Apparently, some say,
Serious?
yes, that it can run more than 2 hours on a tank of fuel.
And
other
4 hours
sources
on a
tell
set of
us-
tires.
Others tell us that it is super light on tires.
Yes.
I'm also led to believe,
Yeah.
I've just got a note from production and research,
Yeah.
that it is pretty quick around Swartkorps. What sort of lap times does it do around Swartkorps?
With the current boost, which I think is 1 bar, we've done 8s.
So when you put it up to normal race boost, about 1.9, what's it going to do?
1.9. No, we run at about 1.2. We'll do high 7s, easy high 7s with the car, and probably for a long period of time too. It's phenomenal.
So do we see a new challenger on Index of Performance coming up here?
Gary, how cool is this that Theo brought the Alpha Giulia,
Yeah.
which is, and the class that these cars run in is sort of up to a maximum of international TCR rules. Basically 2-litre turbo, wing slicks, gunk, carbon, lacquer, cool stuff. Nearly said that word. The filters are working. I'm so happy.
No, the jingle bar is sitting there.
No, no jingle jar.
Is it going to come again?
No.
And you know what happens this time?
No,
we
Gary.
started at 1,000 rand a pop.
No.
No, not 1,000. No, at 1,000 or at a pop.
Who's pop? Right, so in that class, the basically 2-litre turbo class, the Alpha was there and they won Index of Performance for the year. And then the kids from
Cape Town.
Cape Town, like they bring the Angels, they bring the Honda like fully brew, and they brought in a fresh young attitude, which I love. Those kids
awesome.
just get in there and they do stuff. And then now you're not really a kid anymore because you on the other side of 30. So now another car comes in that class, and you've kind of weighed things up. Where are you going to finish? What are you aiming for?
A finish, to be honest. I don't know. As I said, I know a little bit. I know about the Alphas. I know about the Honda. I raced with Dane in GDC too, so I know the boys are capable. But we're going to go, and we've got nothing to lose. We're going to go have a jaw and show these people what this little 1800 Polo can do.
But it's more than just a jaw, because the glint, and because our camera department only brought their 4K camera, Gary, we need to talk to them about the proper broadcast quality camera. This is just not on. You guys can't see the absolute glint. We're having a chat and all of that, and the eyes are calm. The minute endurance comes up, ka-ching,
Just a quick
you're
one.
not. Yes, Gary.
Okay, finish what you were saying.
You've interrupted me now. You may as well carry on.
What's it like? Because you've just been called a sir. Yeah, Simon Morris has called you a sir. He said, "How many kilowatts is your car, sir?" And then, but before you go on, and what modifications have you done to your car, sir?
Sir, I'll reply to you. The motor is stock standard.
Yeah, right.
It is. I promise you, the motor has not been opened, and it runs a little Golf 7 GTI R turbo on it, and that's it.
Another hairdryer.
Yeah.
God.
I'll tell you guys, cheap horsepower. That's the way it is. So yeah, it's got a 1800 Polo GTI engine with a Golf 7 R turbo on it, and it makes enough power. It's varies.
But you're not a proper racing driver. No racing driver ever says, "I've got enough."
No, this one's definitely got enough. It's definitely got enough. It's a proper little car, guys. Look out for it. Come and watch it next weekend. If you're in East London, come say hi. Come look at this little car. It's phenomenal. It's stock standard, but modified.
And Trevor, for the rest of your, if you had a dream of in your the race preparation business, what would that be? What car are you dreaming of roles into the shop that you can work on and prepare?
Yes, Colin, I haven't really thought about it. I'm really content with where we are. I think my workshop is doing well. The Polo Cup, for what it is and the kind of racing we have in South African Motorsport National Series, I think it's fantastic. It really is. There's really good drivers in there, and I'm really proud to be part of the Volkswagen brand, running those cars and looking and developing Jonathan Machotsi and Reis Ajmal, the two development drivers. I'm pretty content with that. I'm enjoying the rally stuff. I've only been at NAFA for 3 years, and with RC it's great. If this new R4 class takes off, I wouldn't mind running an R4 car. I think they are fantastic.
Hey,
There's also
proper,
2-litre turbocharged cars as well, which are proper machines. So yeah, I'm pretty content where we are. I'm happy where things are. I know this is a tough industry to be in. Unfortunately, it's a lot of people's hobbies, and when money's tight, the hobby gets cut first. So yeah, I'm grateful for where we are now, and if things just carry on going well, I'm happy. I can't ask for anything else, to be honest.
See guys, you can be happy in motorsport. It's absolutely magnificent. Trevor, we've got someone else who we'd like to talk to. Thank you very much. Yeah, thanks and go. But hold on, no, before you go, thank you so much for your enthusiasm, and on an event, the way you welcome Gary and I into sharing some of the stuff that you do. It makes our job easier and our lives better. And all the very, very best for Slummies. We're going to see you there, and Brew, we're watching.
Perfect. Can't wait. It's going to be awesome. And yeah, you're welcome for the little bit of dryness that we had in PE. But yeah, it was great.
Don't forget, he's in action with 2 cars this coming weekend on Saturday in the Polo Cup Series.
I've got 5 cars this weekend.
5? You got 5?
Yes.
Boys, he's overworked again.
Overworked, yes.
Overworked.
I got Paul Hill in GDC2, Kara Hill in Polo Cup, Shavesh Bassoon in Polo Cup, and Jonathan and Reis in the Volkswagen Polo Cup as well. So we've got 5 cars this weekend. So yeah.
Busy. Last week PE, this weekend Swartkorps, next weekend East London. Got to be fantastic.
Just before you go, for those of you that managed to get yourselves to Swartkorps this weekend, do yourselves a favour, and I'm pretty sure that Trevor won't mind. Walk into wherever they pitted, walk into the pits, go and have a chat to him, go and find out what it's like for him to prepare cars, run cars, and probably have a discussion with him a lot more depth than what we've had on the show tonight. So go and support the boys, because this is African motorsport, and we all need one another's support. So do pitch up and come say hi to him.
Now the temperature's got to 3.5 apparently. So if you'll let us talk to... We're going to talk to a ginger. Trev, thank you so much.
You're welcome, guys. Thank you very, very much. And see you all at Swartkorps on the weekend.
Trevor,
what an interesting guy. So in part of our crowd, we noticed a shining light off a ginger's head. The fastest ginger South African in the world. Does that work for you, Stuart White?
Sounds pretty good. Thank you for having me on again. Everybody watching, I see there's one of the guys that I know from Addis Araba probably drinking a bit of red wine while watching your show, and yeah, always great seeing you guys.
Why are you in Joburg? Why aren't you in Europe?
Well, it's currently the summer break, so we have some time off now and you go back in September, so now it's back to the other side of motorsport, trying to secure sponsors and also keeping sponsors happy. So that's the other part of it, and preparing for the next part of the season.
Gary, can you have a word with Trevor? Because apparently catering wants to talk to him, so that when we finish that we can at least witness this meeting with catering. If you can just have a word with Trevor in case he just runs away. So you back here, but it's not just for work. You're also going to drive East London, and you like that car. Tell us a little bit more for those people who don't know. Why aren't you paying attention? What you're driving 2 weeks' time in East London?
Yes, I'll be driving with Craig Jarvis again in the Maui Motorhome Janetta G57, prepared by Steve Humble and Harp.
I love the way you bring all the names in. Well trained in PR, bro.
Yes, I'm really excited for the race. It's been a while since PE, so I'm very excited to get back in the car. Craig has been doing quite a lot of laps and being quite comfortable in the car. So we're really looking forward to East London. We're hoping for a bit more luck, but as I say, the harder you work, the luckier you get, and they've been working really hard behind the scenes, so I have full trust in the team and everybody involved, so we're really looking forward to it.
Now, we've spoken to your people, because you know, an international race driver doesn't just walk around on his own. He has an entourage. He has people and our people have spoken to his people, and we thought that it would just so that you, in case you've forgotten, the fastest ginger South African in the world, we just bring him on and have a very, very brief chat. And we've prepared for our research department needs to do a lot more work so that some of us understand the enormity of what Stuart is achieving overseas, and it really is.
Quick one for you. Henry Carl Cohn asks, I'm not sure if he's actually got this correct, but it says, ask Stuart, as in Stuart, how it was in a cross-country car on the wrong side of the car.
Yeah, so it was off-road race last weekend in Bloemfontein, and he was there with Ernest and them shaking down the car, and then they came into the pits and he just handed me the helmet and said go for a ride. So it was really nice, quite impressive cars built by Terence Marsh and Red Line, so very impressive cars, and it was quite a honour driving for him, and it brought back some memories as a small kid when my dad used to race back in 2012 or 13 he stopped, so it was really quite nice to go with him in the car again. So really,
isn't it impressive how those cars can just take huge jumps and bumps?
Well, it was actually on a bit of a flat track that they built for side-by-sides and stuff, and then the one corner is basically a bit of a jump into a banked corner, and I saw the jump and I was like, okay, I'll probably start braking before the jump, and he shifted to fifth gear, so I was like, okay, he'll probably start braking now, and then he went over the jump and then brakes. So I was like, okay, that's quite impressive. So yeah, I was very impressed with the cars.
Gary, talking about newbies in 4x4ing,
Yes.
our sources tell me, I'm led to believe, that at the next off-road race in, where is it, Gary?
Bobsfontein.
In Bobsfontein.
Yeah.
Get your Spanish dictionary out and go to that race, because you might have an opportunity to talk Spanish at that race. If you think you know who it is, or who you'd like it to be, please draw it in the notes. My sources are normally very reliable, and they tell me that Spanish is...
Things could be happening.
Hola, senor. So, on that, Stuart, it's thank you for joining us, and I know it's very brief, but to break out from your entourage, I know that the guys you've got lots of work to do with your team, and thank you very much for joining us, and all the very, very best for next weekend. We'll spend some more time, and then it's off to Hungary and France again.
Yeah, thank you for having me once again, and looking forward to next weekend. So all the focus is firstly on that, and then all the preparation again for the 3 rounds remaining. So we have a back-to-back, first one in F4. So looking forward to that and full prep to that, and trying to move up in the championship, currently third, but working hard with Sauber Engineering to try to go a bit higher, and still a long season, so we'll do the best we can.
Third overall in the International FIA Formula 4 Championship. That's not slack. It's bloody brilliant. Keep it up, Ginger.
Thank you very much.
Gary, the other cool things that are happening this weekend is... Sit. Be with us.
You said you can go away.
Because you want to go inside and get warm.
Just because you said thank you once.
This is warm.
Bloemfontein heat wave. This weekend, Spa, Belgium, 24 hours international GT race.
Yeah.
This is the forerunner of what we're going to have at Kyalami end of November.
Yeah.
Brilliant race.
So get out there. We got lots of South Africans over there on there. If you watch the feeds, we'll put up the links where you can find the live timing, the live streaming. We got...
Let's go. Ferrari, David Perrell, Audi, Kelvin van der Linde, Bentley, Jordan Pepper, BMW, the fastest DJ in the world. Giraffe.
Yeah.
Bonafide. We've got no Nissan drivers. And we've got we haven't got a Honda in there, but the Nissan if they can get that thing reliable, it's done fastest laps in Australia, around Bathurst,
Really?
and Laguna Seca. So the Nissan is quick, but unreliable. It's not a 4-wheel drive; it's a GTR. Or what do they call it? That thing?
Yeah.
It's a 2-wheel drive. And there's the Porkers are there as well. None of them are pink yet. Still challenge anybody in South Africa to paint your pink Porsche pink.
Quick one.
So that's Spa. This weekend is Swart Corps, and
Just to figure,
yes, Gary.
Mark Berger asks, Stu, see for the photo shoot at Kyalami. What's that about, bro?
Yeah, so we're trying to organise a photo shoot. We built a replica of the when Sauber ran with Mercedes in the endurance series, or how they actually started off before they went into Formula One, before Mercedes cut a program for racing. So then Peter Sauber took the big step to try go straight into Formula One, and it worked for them. They're still in Formula One, and they're doing very well. So he has one of the cars that they dominated, or a replica, when they went 2 years straight without losing a race, as one of the most successful periods in motorsport with Mercedes.
It's a C7. It is beautiful, and it is a proper silver arrow.
Yeah, I think it's some of the most beautiful cars that's ever been built in motorsports, and especially in the endurance side. So really look forward to it, and it will be coming soon. So stay tuned.
So I have a challenge to you and Dad, because Dad's watching on the other side of the camera. This photo shoot and that sort of thing, do you think Waved Yellow can crack a nod to come and spy on you?
Well, the first time that it was mentioned, Waved Yellow was part of it, and they already got the official notice from them, and the invite is coming. So
Did you get that email? Because I haven't got one yet.
Gary, I'm sure it's with production and the legal department, and there's all, the process. It's not just like pick up the phone and get there.
I think we should know
eventually, our people have got to talk to their people and get things sorted. And then this weekend, Swartkorps
Mark Bodler
Raceway.
says it's a C9.
That was my fault. Sorry, Mark. C9. Is that like a K9?
No, it's a Sauber C9.
Oh, okay. Because a K9.
No,
That was a Kramer.
that's correct.
Outstanding, yeah.
Outstanding, Yavo. Now listen,
I'm getting there. It's Swartkorps this weekend.
Oh, really?
It's G&H Transport Supercars. There's Ferraris, Lamborghinis, Porsches.
And an Audi
A GT4 Audi.
R10, R8, brand new.
It's
out the
V10.
box.
V10.
Yeah, it's got a V thing. Goes like this.
Is it a Lamborghini motor or an Audi motor, or is the Lamborghini an Audi and in drag?
No, but it's there. So if you want to see some of the most exciting cars in the world in South African motorsport, get to Swartkorps this weekend.
We're going to be there. It's also there's Falcon Polo Cups. There's GTC, both Class 1 and Class 2.
And then there's. Did you mention Polo Cups? Falcon Polo Cups?
I told you at the beginning of the show. Focus, bro.
Focus.
Gary? And there's InvestChem. They're not Formula Fords. They're Formula 1600s.
Yeah.
Stu, you're not racing, eh?
No, I'm not racing. Not this year. We'll maybe come back.
But besides
not
that,
now.
in the thing is a guy called Julian van der Walt. He was racing over in the States and all that sort of stuff. Tried his hand at single-seater racing over there. He's back in South Africa. He'll be in a car this weekend. So it's going to be exciting to see the experience he had racing those single-seaters in the States, how he compares to the local boys in South Africa.
Join us Friday at Swartkorps. And then next week,
what I got to do.
You go and do what you got to do. But Gary, when I got to do what I got to do, then you got to be careful. Join us at Swartkorps this weekend. We'll be there Friday, Saturday. We're going to do what we normally do. And then next week, I'm led to believe we're at some other location. Our production department are just like full of it. And if not, we're looking to develop more of our live audience. Live audience, thank you very much for coming. Guys are absolutely amazing. It's and how we've grown. Thank you for joining us. Be safe, be lekker, and above all, don't be a dick. Cheers.